just say thank you for joining me on this call. I just had it on my heart, Mimi, to reach out to some different community leaders right now during this time, because we are all of us are feeling like we're trying to stay hopeful. We're trying to obey what has been recommended. We're trying to do our part. But I really wanted to specifically talk to you because you're a small business owner.
Yep.
You are somebody that is so pro Reading. You are somebody that is always making choices to do the right thing for our community.
Yeah.
And I know that, I'm seeing we're local business owners too. We have construction, so it's a little different than what you have with your winery being asked to close down during this quarantine season. But Mimi, this is just unprecedented times. Like none of us have lived in this type of global atmosphere before. And I know we share a faith together, the same faith, and I know that that's a big part of this process too. But I just thank you for being here. And I would just love just to hear your thoughts on just our community and how we've responded to this, the Corona.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So just one of the things that's important to me as a member of the Reading community is to be plugged in. So I am pretty awesome on Facebook. I'm not as great on Instagram. I'm getting there, but it doesn't come as naturally to me. So I love being in the groups that are also making differences in our area. One of those is the Reading Chamber of Commerce. One is, John Dix of From the Hearth. He is such an innovative, creative. He's so amazing. So when I'm around people like that, they rub off on me. And so I'm able then to pick up wherever they left off and run with it. And I think one of the things in our community right now is understanding that businesses are dying. And this has been a really short time that this happened, but in that short amount of time, things have happened. For example, if you notice my fingernails, this one and this one popped off, and my nail technician, her shop is closed. So I'm not saying that to be cute, but it's a little small company like hers, and that's their only source of income. And so my heart is hurting for them. I can't do anything for them right now because they can't open. They're not allowed to. I'm not allowed to open, but I can deliver wine because we own a winery. There are restaurants that we can go to, that we can get takeout from, and just those little purchases, let them know you're not alone. You're not in this void all by yourself, that there are people who care about you and they want to help, and we'll do whatever we can. I rushed to get back here because I ran to Tantardini's to grab a lunch for us, because every day I'm purposefully buying a takeout lunch from someone in our community. And every time they just shower me with praises and say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I know what that feels like. I feel the same when I deliver wine. And so we've got to keep pouring hope and encouragement into people as best we can.
Yeah. And I've even heard it said, the big companies like Red Robin or some of the, like Olive Garden, they're going to make it through this, but to really be deliberate, like I love how you said, the local small businesses really go out of our way to say, I'm going to go there to pick a burrito. I'm going to go somewhere where they really are depending on us to support them in this time. So
exactly. And not to forget the even smaller ones. There's a little place called, what is it? Canelo's, I think, on South Market. And it's this big. And he only does takeout, but he is one that, we might remember the Final Drafts and the From the Hearths and things like that. But we've got to look at those little ones and purposefully go to them as well.
Yeah, that's so good. Oh, yes. Awesome. So another thing that I know I've heard that a lot of us are dealing with right now is fear. And I think that, we're watching the news. We want to have hearts that are informed. It's important to be informed. but I think we're seeing, we're watching Italy, we're seeing what happened in China. We're seeing all these things. And I think it can be tempting to let fear in. So I just wanted to have you talk a little bit about that. Mimi, what are
Yeah.
you doing, as a small business owner, what are you doing to combat fear in your
Yeah. Yeah. Well, first of all, this is the unknown. And when we have something that's an unknown for lack of education, the natural response is to be fearful.
Yeah.
So we look at something last Sunday, a week ago Sunday, I was in the grocery store when the call came down that the governor said, close everything up. So I was just casually going through the the grocery store. And within the first 5 minutes of getting there, I got the first call. So for the next 2.5 hours, I'm in the canned goods aisle, and I'm trying to calm myself and think, okay, I have to act first. Fear cannot rule right now. I have to purpose myself. So I did what I had to do, made my calls, and then I continued shopping, and it was like I was in some kind of a haze. I just could not figure out why I was feeling the way I did.
Yeah.
And when I got in the car, I just, I had to stop and pray. And I just said, I don't know why this has hit me like this. The world is still going on. Birds are flying, dogs are barking. They don't know that there's a problem.
Yeah.
But we have a responsibility as leaders in the community not to choose fear. We have to choose hope, because we've made it this long in our lives and we haven't died. Right. So every day is an encouragement. And there's an old thing that says, you can't do anything about worry, and 90% of all the things we worry about never happen. Yeah. And then some people will laugh and say, see, it works. So if you worry about it, then it's not going to happen. So they feel like they can justify their worry. Yeah. So I feel like every person that I pour into, and I feel like whenever I build courage into one person, they're able to then turn around and build it into another. So it's not a trickle down effect like we think of in the government, that everything trickles down to us. We can change ourselves, and each one of us that we can, if I look at myself, as the great theologian Michael Jackson said, I'm talking to the man in the mirror. If I fix myself and start working on myself, then I can talk to Tami. And I can talk to other people, and it trickles up, and it's an upside down pyramid. It just keeps getting higher.
Encouraging the person above us. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're having a little bit of internet issues, I see. Hopefully it will catch up here. There we go. I have a little bit of you're paused on a beautiful, you got paused on this picture like this. It was really beautiful. You'll have to see the you got paused. I'm like, oh, that's great. It's the funnel picture. It was great. Yes. Yeah. So what you were saying is just that it's so wonderful, because actually when we're encouraged ourselves, we actually can encourage each other, and it's an upward motion. It's not a trickle down motion. It's actually an upward motion. So that I love. Yes. I think we're having some internet issues currently. You're paused again. I'm trying to see if you're you're with me or not. I guess it's great. And I know
white as well.
We're gonna okay. So I might have to jump on another call. Let me pause it again. Let me pause the recording and see if I'm going to jump on. Okay. So Mimi, I loved how you were talking about ways that you combat fear and how you keep yourself encouraged. And that is such a good thing. And even, I think we all can relate to that moment when you were in the grocery store and you had to just kind of just recognize that we don't need to panic, that we've made it through things in the past.
Right.
Most recently, the car fire, our community pulled together and made it through that we can make it through here. And I totally relate to that. I had a moment in the grocery store where I pulled some white rice and threw it in my basket. And I thought, I haven't made white rice for 10 years. Like, why, why am I doing this right now? And I had to have a moment to be like, okay, like, no, it's going to be okay, you know, and to not partner with the panic of
That's right.
feel. So,
Yeah.
can you just take a minute to Mimi and just share with us how you, like, just really practical ways every day that you encourage yourself? What are ways that you and your family just choose encouragement? What could you share with?
Yeah. Well, one thing I did this morning, which I haven't done in the past few days, is I put makeup on.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I look in the mirror and I'm 60 something. And if you don't have makeup on, it's a little scary. And so I thought, you know what? I don't want to, if I'm scared of myself when I look in the mirror, what are other people thinking when they see me, including my husband? So I made the choice today. I'm going to put makeup on. I'm going to put earrings on. There's no telling what I'm wearing from the waist down.
Right. We don't see that. Okay, we're good. You look great.
Right. Yeah. But if I can feel okay about myself, it builds the confidence in me to be able to reach out to others. And even on Facebook, if somebody's discouraged, we can just send them a little note, a Facebook message or something. Don't do mass Facebook messages, people, please. But if somebody's discouraged, you can just say, hey, I really can relate. I was discouraged as well. Here's what I did. I don't know if it'll be any help to you, but here's something that helps me. Because we never want to say, I know how you feel, because we don't know how they feel.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good.
Yeah. And I also, another thing I've done to kind of encourage myself, which is very practical, is I choose one small thing that I can accomplish. This morning, it was my husband's bathroom drawer. I opened it up. I took a picture of it. It was a wreck. I cleaned it out, wiped it down, put the things back in that needed to be there. And it was a beautiful thing. And I felt like I did one thing. And if I can do one thing each day, then I'm going to be okay. Yeah. But it's that fear that will paralyze us. And that being paralyzed is deadly. We have got to, even though we're sitting just in front of a Netflix or something, we've got to go, you know what, maybe I'll watch this to the end of this one. Then I'm going to get up, I'm going to do one thing, I'm going to accomplish one thing, and then I'm going to reward myself with another series. It works. When you've done something, then you feel like, I did something today. This thing does not own me. I control.
Yes, I love that. Just the little goals along the way, and not feeling like it's going to wash over us, but being aware that it doesn't get to do that. It doesn't get to do that.
Exactly.
We're powerful people, and we can take control of those things.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. Oh, I so appreciate you being with us. So now I just want to say, we know that you own a local winery and that you would be more than happy to deliver locally. Yep. So if people do want to order one of your amazing wines, we have the Syrah, I think last night, which I loved. And so how can they get a hold of you, Mimi?
They can go to moseleyfamilysellers.com, but you have to spell Moseley right, Moseley, Family Sellers, CELLARS.com. Okay. And can I say one last thing?
Yes.
One thing also that we can do as a community, whoever's watching may not feel like a leader, but we can all be we're all consumers, but is that all we do is consume? Mm-hmm. The difference between a consumer and a citizen is a citizen contributes. Yeah. So I want to challenge your viewers to be contributors. And even though you're not a leader, you feel like, well, what can I do? You can look on, somebody who's a nurse, send her a Facebook message, put a card in the mail, something to them and say, hey, I just wanted to tell you, thank you for what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Send our city council members an email and just say, I know your burden is great at this time. I have no idea the terrible burden that is on you, but I want you to know that right now I'm for you, and I want you to know that somebody is cheering you on. Just little things like that, we can change people's lives and give them the courage to go on another day.
Oh, absolutely. Mimi, you are just such a perfect example of someone who is daily making choices to encourage people around you. You are somebody that everywhere you go, you're looking for ways to give someone a hand up. And I love that. That's why I wanted to interview you, because I do think that just who you are is that. And I personally take that encouragement too, to just, I'm not just a consumer, I'm a citizen of this community of Reading. And it's little things. And even when we pass somebody on the path, when we're out for our walk, you know, smiling and giving them like, hey, I'm not afraid of you, that you're not 6 feet from me.
Right.
You know,
Right.
actually just want to say, we're in this together, and let's just, even those little things. But I love the letters and the calls and the people that are on the front lines to say, we see you and we support you. And that's why we're doing these quarantines, is because we're
That's right.
people.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate this. And
Thank you so much.
I love your earrings. They're so cute.
Love you.
Okay, love you. Okay, bye-bye.